So maybe you guys have heard there's an event coming spring Thaw, and you've maybe heard some of the rumors. There's been talk about the White Witch. Last year we were attacked by zombies. It was terrible. We managed through it. And there's been some talk of the White Witch coming back. I want to calm your fears right now. You don't have to panic. You don't have to run out of here, because this has all happened before. This is not the first time the White Witch has attacked the Multnomah campus. In fact, a time long in the past, there's a tale that she came and attacked, and I've asked my good friend Jared Riando to come and tell the story. Would you give it up for Jared? Thanks.
Once, long ago, though not so very long as to be entirely forgotten, there came to Multnomah from a mysterious land a mysterious witch of mysterious powers and mysterious intentions. The whole thing was very strange. Known only as the White Witch, she put a spell over the Multnomah campus so that it would always be finals week, but never Christmas break. Nobody quite knows why she did this. Again, it's difficult to overemphasize just how mysterious she was. Anyway, her magic was so powerful that no one knew any way to break the horrible spell that forced all of the students to study all of the time. They could never stop learning or they would be punished. It was terrible. Also, if they even so much as mentioned the words Christmas break, they faced unsettling consequences from the witch herself, who, in addition to her mystery, is also quite scary. I forgot to mention that, but it's very important, so remember it. Multnomah was covered in gloom and despair. As the days turned into months, and the months into years, the students turned in their endless stream of assignments to an increasingly despotic faculty.
Brilliantly blazing lecture, I conclude my customarily comprehensive colloquium on all things in the history of everything. I trust that in the absence of any semblance of a study guide, you have taken copious and correct quotations down. For this final promises to be quite thorough. Miss Holloway, would you be so competent as perhaps to remind your forgetful fellow students that tomorrow is the deadline for book reports? What now, Mr. Bedline?
On which book?
Which book? Why, boy, all of them. Every book ever written.
They had been living in constant tyranny for as long as they could remember, with textbooks piling higher than ever before and no end to finals in sight. The students of Multnomah were at their wits' end. It was miserable.
This is miserable. I'm at my wits' end.
I hate this. I can't even remember what my mother's face looks like anymore, but I can quote systematic theology by heart. When I close my eyes, all I can see is Dan Christensen's face with this red marking pen. It's not even human.
I wish somebody could just break this awful magic spell.
Well, it's not always like this. We used to be happy. Remember what happy felt like?
Happy? Happy was good.
Darn right it was, but now it's all gone. It's because of that white witch.
Don't say her name. She might hear you.
I don't even care anymore. All I want to do is stop studying and go home for Christmas break.
The forbidden words!
Once spoken, the words could not be retracted. They hung in the air like a half-deflated balloon or a hovercraft, or some other kind of thing that hangs in the air. The earth itself shuddered as if remembering something super creepy its older brother told it earlier. Like maybe something about the hovercraft decapitating a guy. You get the idea. It was clear that the White Witch had heard. She was angry, and she was coming.
What have you done?
So what? I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
I've heard she can swallow students whole.
Wait, really?
And she can crush your bones into paste with one squeeze of her giant hand.
Dad, what are we gonna do?
Quick, let's hide.
But hiding would not help the unfortunate students. The deed was done, and the White Witch, in all her terribleness, had come for a reckoning. Though terrible enough in her own right, the witch never traveled alone. Wherever she went also followed her treacherous henchmen, all of whom shared at least her same level of terribleness. It was all very terrible.
All hail the White Witch!
What are the forbidden words?
Wow, she's a lot shorter than that.
Silence! I think this tree could beat her up.
I said silence! Henchmen, seize them!
Remember the henchmen I mentioned earlier? Well, they just so happen to be mostly ninjas. Nobody quite knows why. And yes, I know they're not part of the Narnia canon, just accept it.
Not so funny now, is it? Now for your insolence and for speaking the forbidden words, you will get a taste of my awesome power.
No! Please!
Your pathetic whining won't save you now from my ultimate weapon, Tyranny!
Song of powerful power, it became clear that the White Witch was controlling the school by twisting the magic of music to her own despicable means. The longer the music played, the more submissive the students became. Helpless to fight back against the dominion of rock emanating from the enchanted strings of Zarani's cursed guitar. Try as they might, no one had yet proved skilled or cunning enough to challenge the witch's master puppeteer. It seems to many that all hope was lost. But every fire begins with a spark. A small faction of students had had enough. They formed a secret resistance to combat the evil magic of the White Witch. The ringleader of this fledgling band of resistors was no stranger to magic himself. His name was Daniel Lockwood.
The White Witch is just like all of us. She has a weakness. That's why we need to fight back.
Fight back with what?
With magic of our own. Check this out. Expecto Patronum! Okay. Check this out. Take a card. Alright, memorize it? Alright, now play back. Was this your card?
Yeah, not hardly.
Shoot.
But Lockwood's magic was not strong enough. Not by a long shot. What Multnomah needed was a real hero.
My magic's not strong enough, not by a long shot. What Multnomah needs is a real hero.
Did someone say a hero?
Cuts. We need to defeat the White Witch and her evil minstrel. He's keeping it finals week forever.
This sounds like a job for Hebrew verb parsing.
What else you got?
I can recite the Septuagint from memory.
No.
Juggling?
Come on, Kutz. I thought you were a karate master or something.
It is Pilates, master. It's like yoga, but with more stretching.
Seriously?
It is really tough.
Kutz, what are we gonna do?
Did somebody say Euro?
Rob Hildebrand, you've come to defeat the White Witch.
No. Oh, sorry. I heard something about a euro. Just a little hungry.
And so they found themselves at a fiendish impasse. The three young friends were at a complete loss as to how to overcome Zarati and the White Witch. That is, until one of them had a brilliant moment of clarity.
I just had a brilliant moment of clarity.
Well, what is it?
That Narnia kid, huh?
You mean the kid that's always talking about C.S. Lewis?
Yeah, he's gotta have read something somewhere.
Aslan's Mane, of course. Let's go to the how.
The where?
The how.
The what?
Never mind.
Gary!
And so off they went in search of the Narnia kid, who they found after a long and interesting search, full of perils and adventure that would be incredibly difficult to reproduce on stage. They learned much in his counsel about the curious history of Multnomah and its inexplicable link to the parallel world, brimming with lions, witches, and, for some reason, wardrobes. It was all terribly interesting. Using all of Lockwood's admittedly limited magical ability, they learned of a way in which to draw heroes from their magical world into their own. Heroes powerful enough to challenge the White Witch's fiendishly musical Zarati. They were in for a rude surprise.
Your reign of terror is over, Witch. It's about time we stop finals week forever.
Well, all the students can say the walkthrough. I'm pretty sure finals week is over.
Don't make me laugh. What could a few puny little students do to challenge my infinite power? Zarati, teach them a lesson. Play the song of awful consequences.
My pleasure.
About finals week, so I brought my own axe to grind. Hope you're done your shopping, because Christmas is coming early this year.
We'll see about that. Zarati, do your worst.
Advanced toward each other, fingers blazing across magical fretboards. Each held in his hands the power for good and evil, the power to give life and the power to destroy. They began what would forever be remembered as the greatest guitar-off in the fake history of Multnomah. final trick up her treacherous sleeve.
We need reinforcements! Pirates!
And so it was that Caspian was overcome by the crushing musical force of Zarati and the White Witch. Multnomah's last and greatest hope had failed.
You thought you could defeat me and my limitless power? Say goodbye to Christmas. It will be finals week forever, and there will be no more happiness ever again. Ha.
Yeah, Beyonce!
Was not lost. Their distress had not gone unnoticed. Aslan had come.
You may have won this round line, but I'll be back!
White Witch is gone. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Is the story of how Christmas break began at Multnomah. The White Witch has been gone for quite some time, but she has vowed to return someday, when the winter is just ending, at the start of the new spring thaw. But no one knows just when this day will be, though perhaps it will be exactly 120 days, 7 hours from now. May you all be ready. The end.
Let's give a big thank you. Thank you to Jared Miranda for writing that. Isn't that wonderful, Jared Miranda? Thank you to Alicia Sweet. Thanks to Alicia and Caspian Paladalen. Oh, and thanks to Aslan. Now, it's always good to have Aslan in the house. I know when I started working on this skit, come on over with me, Aslan. I was trying to figure out exactly who we should get to play Aslan. Really, there's only one person, and some people in the world are known by a name. But at Multnomah, we have somebody known by just a letter. And so incoming freshmen and transfer students, may I introduce to you Dr. Gary Friesen.